Hello, everybody, and welcome to Assen in the Netherlands. It's round 16 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. Of course, this is the MXGP of the Netherlands, and it's the second time we're back here at this TT circuit, and really great to be here as well. And we've got a pretty packed studio show lined up for you today. We got 4 guests this weekend, joining myself and Lisa Leyland, and one of them just arriving now, Tim Geiser. Apologies for his slight delay, but he's just literally come in from MXGP free practice. But also joining us today, we've got Brent Vanck coming in. We've got Paolo Pavasio coming in. He's a marketing manager for Yamaha Motor Europe. And, of course, we've got Marco Ricciardi from TM. But, Lisa, we're back here. But this, again, is the start of the final 3 rounds of the World Championship. It's another busy period for us.
It's been crazy. It's a busy period. It's back-to-back with the US GPs as well. But at the same time, it's exciting, the fact that in 3 weeks we're going to have our 2 world champions confirmed. So, yeah, it's exciting times.
Well, we have our defending MX2 world champion here, but of course not defending it. It's in MXGP, of course. Tim Geiser, Honda Garibaldi. Welcome to our studio show. The second time this year, but the last time we saw you was in Trentino. You'd won 4 GPs. You had a 4-point lead in the championship. It's a little bit bigger than that now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little bit bigger, but yeah, still we have to stay focused, still 3 races to go. We are on the good way. Really nice gap, 99 points. That's just unbelievable for the rookie. So try to be calm, cool, and we will see. Yeah.
And this Assen circuit has good memories for you, because last year you took the MX2 overall. You took the lead in the championship then. So I guess you're looking forward to racing here this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. We already have a first free practice, and the track is quite the same, just a little bit longer. Some written sections are different, but anyway, the ground are the same. Are strange. I would say that are strange, but yeah, the same for everyone. So we will give our best, and we will see.
How big a weekend was this for you?
Yeah,
last year.
That was just amazing. Actually came to this weekend. We have break 2 weeks, and I didn't train on the sand. I was at my house, training on a hard pack on the Supercross actually, and came to the weekend. We arrived Friday. I was scared a little bit because I didn't do any practice before the sand race, But then Saturday went not so good. I was crashing a lot, and yeah, I didn't try it well. But then for Sunday was completely different day. I won first moto and second in the second one, and then I took also red place. So it was huge weekend.
Well, it's another huge weekend this weekend. Last year you won the title in Glen Helen, so you know what it's like to be crowned world champion. You know what it's like to win races. You've won 15 of them this year, and 7 Grand Prix, 12 in total. So what are you, how are you going to prepare for this weekend? What are you going to do differently? I guess you're a little bit more relaxed, are you, knowing what to expect? Or not really?
Actually, I don't want to put any pressure. Still, still try to go in the race like all the other races in this season. Without any pressure. It's not easy, for sure. But try to be calm. It's it's like I said, 3 races to go, 3 GPs to go. Yeah, we will do our best, like always.
You said you're going to try and be calm, but it is a big weekend for you and the team. You haven't won since Mantova, but this weekend you just need to score just 1 point more than Tony to get that title. So, as well as being calm, how are you going to approach Sunday?
Yeah, the same like the other races. I don't have any different tactic. I didn't speak with my dad about different tactic, just riding to collect the points. So I will go out there, give my best, and I think that's the best way that we could enter the race and racing, not to worry about the points, stuff like that. So just go out there and have fun, right, like I know, and I think that's the best way.
Yeah,
okay.
Good.
All right, well, we've got some questions on social media for you, Tim. The first one is from Nusa Pusitisevek.
Actually,
I
Tim
don't
can read
think
that
I've
out.
actually pronounced that correctly.
I think it's Slovenian, see if you know what that says.
Can you pronounce that? Nusa
Pusitivska.
Oh, I did all right
there
then.
You go.
Yeah, okay. And he says, how much does it mean to you that we Slovenian fans are basically everywhere?
Yeah, it means a lot, in the past years, motocross in Slovenia was no really popular, And now I think it starts everything last year when I became world champion in MX2, and you know, this year was just unbelievable how many people start following motocross, you know, and almost all the Slovenia is talking about motocross now. So it's really huge, you know, to see that that popularity is growing of this sport, because it's really nice that I could help to be more recognized, that sport there. And for sure it means a lot, you know, like Arco, you know, the races like Arco, Mantova, Czech Republic, that was just unbelievable how many fans was there, you know, and cheering for me and also for the others. So it was really nice.
Good. Okay, so from Michael Gibbs, what has contributed to your success during this season, and what runs through your mind when you're at the starting gate ready to race?
You know, it's like, as a racer, you know, everybody have some routine, you know, before the races. So I try to focus myself on the way, you know, like I do. I put my helmet on the handlebar, you know, like I will spray before the race. That's always, and also try to speak to myself, you know, like try to prepare myself for the start, you know, to be really 100% focused, because start is the most important thing in our sport, you know. It's the only way where you can pass 30, 40 riders.
Yeah,
so,
All right. Well, look, Tim obviously has a very busy weekend this weekend, as do the whole of the Honda Garibaldi squad, and we wish Tim and everybody else there all the success this weekend. And who knows, maybe he'll be looking at a second title this weekend. But, you know, all that remains to be seen. But, Tim, thanks for joining us here this weekend.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
have a good one.
Thank you.
Right, before we meet our next guest, fancy getting your hands on some nice little goodies here? Here's how you can do it. So, this week, all you need to do to win some Twin Air goodies is like and share the Twin Air post on our MXGP Facebook page, and you could win a Twin Air Powerflow kit for your bike. You could also win free access to MXGP TV and MXGP2, the official video game. So get liking and sharing now. And if you don't win, then don't worry, because we're still offering 70% discount for the MXGP TV season package. So if you missed anything, you'll be able to watch the entire season on demand, as well as get the last 3 rounds of MXGP from Assen, Charlotte, and Glen Helen. And of course, the Monster Energy Motocross of Nations and the SMX Riders and Manufacturers Cup, all live and on demand. So what are you waiting for, people? So anyway, that was Tim Geiser. Now Brent Vanck from Khmer Yamaha Yamalube joins us now. And welcome, Brent. It's been a difficult season for you, hasn't it, really? I guess the winter training program first of all, you picked up a slight injury, and then you picked up a hip or a pelvis injury a little bit later on. Just tell us about the beginning of the season, how tough it was for you, first of all.
Yeah, first of all, I had to undergo surgery in the winter for my knee, because I torn my ACL. Then after that, everything was okay. I had good training, good practice. And then the first races were pretty good in Qatar and Thailand, and Valkenswaard also. And but then I got a big crash in the Belgium race at home, and I dislocated my hip. But I was pretty fast back. I think after 4 weeks I was riding again. I did Latvia, but for sure, you know, Latvia was okay. But then after, you know, physically I was not 100% because I was out for some weeks, and then it got worse. But actually, I also had a thumb injury. This is what not many people knew about me, and but I hoped it would get better, you know, the thumb. But it only got worse, and that's why I decided to make surgery, and so I was 2 months out. And I was back in Lommel. Yeah, of course, not 100% fit, but I just wanted to do this race because I love this race. It's my home GP.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we can talk about that one later on. But Monique, I think he came in the studio show in Latvia, and we couldn't believe it when he said, you know, after 4 weeks, you know, it was the pelvis injury was normally should be a lot longer. Yeah. And he said, you know, it's almost like you're superhuman. You heal fast. Were you surprised to be back on a bike as well so soon?
Yeah, for sure I was surprised. The doctor also, you know, it's pretty amazing that I was back riding after 4 weeks. The good thing was I dislocated my hip, but outside that, I didn't have any broken bones, or so it really was only the dislocated hip. So that's why I was soon back also. But you know, I also need to thank my trainer Jackie for this. He had a really good program with me. This is why I was also this fast back, you know. And yeah.
Well, despite the winter injury, you came back. You were 5th overall in Qatar, 4th in Valkenswaard. So to dislocate your hip when you did, that must have been so frustrating for you. I mean, it's just bad timing.
Yeah, I was so disappointed, for sure. I had the feeling I really had the speed this year, and then when this happened, yeah, I was down for some days. But then you know, I picked it up again with Jackie. We started training again, and looked forward to the next races.
Well, let's talk last year briefly. You had your first Grand Prix experience in MX2 in Argentina, but then you had, I think, like 7 top 10 finishes, including 3rd overall here last year, your first podium in MX2. I bet you can still remember exactly what happened that day, can't you?
Yeah, that day was amazing. My first year in the Grand Prix, and then my first podium. So yeah, it was an amazing day, especially because it. Yeah, I love the sand, you know. Yeah, I can see it. It was amazing.
Yeah, and the crowd was amazing as well, wasn't it, that day?
Yeah, it was nice with the kind of arena feeling, you know. You really could hear the crowd, and yeah, it was nice. There a lot of Belgian fans over here also.
Yeah,
it was cool.
So just tell us, what was going through your mind when you stood on the podium then?
Yeah, like finally, you know.
yeah.
Because I had the feeling I could do it also in Lommel.
Yeah.
But in Lommel I was just too crazy and wild, you know, and made a lot of mistakes. And I learned about that, and yeah.
So pretty nice weekend for you. Back to this year, though. Put the injuries aside. Are you pleased with the way you're riding? Do you feel that actually, you know, if it wasn't for those injuries, you would have been in a good place?
Yeah.
And still now?
Yeah, my riding is good, but still I think I never was 100% fit because of all the injuries and the problems I had. So this is something I really want to have next year, to ride without pain and without problems, and yeah, 100% clear and just be consistent.
Okay. Well, Brent, we've got some questions on social media for you. The first one from DG64 says, what is your goal for 2017 and 2018?
Yeah, like I said before, just be consistent and see where I end. I think I have the speed to do top 5. I think so, and you know, like my good race is to have a podium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And another question, Calvin Valandrin says, he put this on Instagram. Ask him, how long does he take to do his hair in the morning?
Yeah, I read it also.
Because I was wondering this.
Well, however long it is, it's a waste of time because he's got a hat on.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Most of the time I have my cap on, so yeah. This not so long actually.
About an hour? An hour, yeah?
Yeah. No.
Cool, that's not too bad. That's all right. Okay, and finally, MX Justin, what is the most important thing that Jackie Vimond has taught you? And do you feel you're a better racer now because of it?
Yeah, it's just nice to have somebody behind you that support you all the time and tell you your program for the week. And I think the most important thing is to stay calm, because sometimes I freak out a little bit, you know, I make some mistakes and stuff. So this is a good thing to stay calm and keep me calm.
Great. Okay.
All right. Well, look, before we let you go, let's talk about Lommel 2 weeks ago, really quickly. Difficult track, but very high-paced. You showed, actually, when all things go well, you get a good start, you can really mix it with the best guys at the front. And this first race for you was, you know, proof of that. You came from quite way back inside the top 10, and this pass on Dylan for 3rd, and you were really turning in some decent laps, you know. So when you see that and when you ride like that, I guess that's even more encouraging to know that actually you're not in a bad place.
Yeah. Before Lommel, I only was, I think, 2 times on the bike or something, 3 times. So it was a hard race for me, and the speed was okay, but I was just so tired that I also lost focus on the end. This is why I crashed also the first race, especially with the rain. I was tired, and I just lost focus. Second race, I crashed again, and I really had to recover like 10 days from this race. I was so tired.
Yeah, I mean, that was just the first crash, just a simple front end washout. But, it was unfortunate. But like I say, the second race, again, it went, I guess, from bad to worse in terms of how that finished. But at least you know that, in general, you're feeling okay and you're not too far off. And maybe you can turn it around this weekend.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. All right, Brent Vanck, thanks for joining us. And all the best this weekend. Right, before we meet our next guest, Paolo Pavesio, quick reminder as to what we can look forward to a little bit later on in the season. So if you don't know by now, the Monster Energy Super Motocross Riders and Manufacturers Cup that takes place at the Veltins Arena in Germany on October the 8th. Tickets are still on sale at mxgp.com, so click the event on the calendar for more information. Honda, Husqvarna, KTM have all announced their teams, with Yamaha announcing its lineup this evening live on Facebook after the qualifying race press conference around 6:45. And Suzuki will name its team on Sunday evening tomorrow after the Riders press conference. So again, live on Facebook around 6:30. So join us for that if you can. Names like Ryan Dungey, Marvin Muscan, Jeffrey Hurlings, Paul and Geiser, Bobryshev, Nagel, Anderson, Osborne are all confirmed. So who will be lining up for Yamaha and Suzuki? Join us on Facebook for this evening to find out. Right, Yamaha Motor Europe NV Marketing Division Manager Paolo Pavesio joins us now. And welcome to our studio show. Good to see you. Just a short journey.
It's a pleasure to see you. Yeah, it's not a long one. We are living close by, so let's call it Mxgp.
Absolutely. But first impressions of the track here. It's a very interesting. I know we came here last year, but I guess from the industry point of view, how important is a race like this?
Now, I think this is for sure one of the direction motocross has to go to, because you come closer to a wider audience, and you can offer still a fantastic show to the motocross fan, but you can widen our audience, and it's important for the fans, I think, to see a race in a comfortable way as well, with the comfort you normally get only in road racing. And I think it's fun also for the riders to see this spectacular grandstand full of people. As well, I already got comment from the guys that the track is much better this year, it's wider, it's a bit longer. So it's a learning, but I think it's one of the direction motocross is positively going through.
Well, we just saw a moment ago the promotion clip for the Monster Energy Riders Manufacturers Cup at the Veltins Arena in October. We know all about that. We know how that's going to work. But Yamaha are promoting, and we can see from the graphic behind us, the YZ125 Cup. So what is it? What's it about? How does it work? What can we expect?
Yes, this is, let's say, a new kind of activity we are creating, finally, to offer to many young guys the possibility to live the dream, and maybe for some of them to become a professional rider. The concept is quite simple at the end, in the way we have thought. In all the European National Championship, there are guys already racing with Yamaha. So what we are offering to them is to have a separate ranking in every nation, and based on the ranking and on the spots we offer to any nations, the best 46 riders out of the almost 100 that are racing in those championships will be invited to the Veltins Arena. So finally, they are going to have the first dream racing together with the champions in a place where most probably 50,000 people are going to look to them. That's the first step. Then what we are going to do, the best 6 for the race result and the best 2 selected by us, because maybe you are a good talent, but you can have a crash or whatever it is, so we want to pick up other 2. 8 of them, they're going to be invited to a 1-week masterclass with David Philippart and other Yamaha, let's say, technicians. We're going to train them, we're going to study them, and one of them will win the final dream to become an official rider in our official team in the European Championship 1-5.
Wow.
So quite a big prize.
Yes, I think it's building a dream. One can get it, but many can participate, and I think it's great. The role of a manufacturer is, of course, racing for the top, trying to win all the races you can, trying to win championship, but also to offer the possibility to access to top races, also to young guys. And this was one of the reasons where, of course, we have an age limitation in the YZ125 Cup rules, because we want to be sure that the guy who is going to win has the correct age to still race EMX 125.
You said age limitation. What is that age then?
2004. So they have to be born, let's say, after 2004 in a
Right.
way that next year they are young enough to access to AMX 125, where, as you know, there is an age limit as well.
Okay.
So there are more 125 riders around Europe racing Yamaha, but not all of them could access to the 125 Cup Challenge for this reason, basically.
Okay.
Well, in terms of 125 riders, we saw last year's 125 FIM Junior World Cup or World Champion,
Yes.
Maxime Renault. Could have been a European champion as well last year, but obviously it didn't work out for him in MX 250 this year. Just picked up an arm injury, but this weekend he's riding in MX2, isn't he? In for the injured Alexander Tonkov. He's still with Khmer Yamaha, so let's point that out. He's not riding for Wilbur Standing, but that's quite a big thing for him, isn't it? But is this the role of the YZ125 Cup to help take people like Maxime Renault and help to develop them and to give them that opportunity in the not too distant future?
Yes, I have the feeling is exactly this. We want to offer the dream. Maxime, in a way, has already started to live, to go on the path to becoming a professional rider. Of course, Maxime is a very great talent. He had some bad luck in the last, let's say, year enough after the victory in the 125 World Championship last year. Already had a crash last year in the European Championship. He got also a serious injury this year. He's coming back to be fit. First is very good for us. And then we felt it was really good to offer him possibility to come here, since we had at the end an empty spot in the MX2 lineup. Yes, and as you are specifying, yes, Tonkov is still in standing. But at the end, for us also, we try to have a kind of Yamaha family in this paddock. So it's not about really where you ride, but it's about racing with us. And it's great to have Maxime back, and it's great to still supporting and helping him to grow in his career.
Okay, well, look, we're almost out of time, but just really quick, final word on the Monster Energy MXGP Yamaha team. Looking good for the next couple of years? Both riders signed, I believe, or what's the situation?
Yes, of course.
here?
The riders are both signed. We have a 3 years agreement with Romain. We have renewed agreement with Jeremy. I think we have one of the best lineup in the paddock. We're just committed to offer them the best technology we can, and we want to see them on the podium, hopefully on the first stage of the podium as soon as possible.
All right, Paolo Pavesio, we are out of time, but thank you for joining us here. Thanks for explaining about the YZ125 Cup, of course, Felton's Arena,
so much.
October the 8th. Right, before we meet our final guest, Marco Ricciardi, the team manager from TM Factory Racing, let's see what happened in Switzerland 3 weeks ago. Here's highlights from MX2 Race 2.
MX2 Race 2, Thomas Covington went a little wide immediately out the start gate as his teammate Max Anstey raced to the foxhole shot. Seawer thought he'd found his way into the lead by turn 2, but ran up a little wide himself, handing Anstey the advantage. Fans were on their feet. Seawer tried to pounce on the 99. Behind them, Monticelli again on the Marchetti Racing Team KTM. Was making good starts, but Paturel was soon into third on his Khmer Yamaha. Behind Monticelli, Bernardini. But a little bit further back, Petrov ran into the side of Chervelin. Would remount in 16th. The two Italians almost clashed. Bernardini had to stay there in 4th for a little while longer. Brian Bogus on the HSF Logistics Motorsport KTM gave chase to Bernardini, who fell. The Italian remounted in 8th, got back to 6th. Seawer got close to Anstey and made the pass for the lead. Towards the end of lap 8, the two riders absolutely side by side as they out-dragged each other across the finish line. And just like that, Seawer was the new leader in race 2. One or two mistakes though started to creep in. Anstey got close and he got parked. Seawer doing everything he could to stay out in front, but a lap later, as Seawer went defensive, Anstey got better drive, and in front of his home fans, Seawer was pushed back to 2nd as Anstey stormed on through. After being passed by Bogus, Monticelli fell, picked himself up though, in 6th place, would eventually come home in 7th. It was a lonely ride for number 6 of Benoit Paturel in 3rd, as the two riders up front, Anstey and Siwa, continued to pursue each other, but in the end, Anstey made it 2 wins out of 2, 4 motos out of 4, 2 Grand Prix victories on the bounce to take the MXGP of Switzerland in MX2, presented by IXS in fine style. Siwa, though, put everything out there to get 2nd, Paturel 3rd, and the gap now just 43 points between Herlings and Siwa at the top of the MX2 standings.
Well, that was the MX2 Grand Prix of Switzerland presented by IXS, and here we are now with team manager for TM Racing Factory, Marco Ricciardi. Welcome to the studio show. Is this the first time we've had you in here?
Yeah, it's the first time, finally.
Finally. Well, I tell you what, with good reason, because, you know, not only are you one of the most passionate guys, you're Italian, you work for an Italian brand, but you've also got an Italian rider,
Yes.
Samuele Bernardini, riding for you. And I tell you what, he's having a great season, isn't he? 8th at the moment. You must be really happy with how things are going.
Yeah, it's very good season at this moment because finally we had the possibility for work very, very hard during the winter because 2 years ago Samuele was injured and don't have a possibility for have a good training during the winter, and then we start good already in Qatar, and then day by day, race by race, we improve the speed, and also we have a possibility for improve also the bike. The bike is very good, arrived from the Moto3 project, and all day we work very hard on it, and in both situations, no, Samuele and the bike.
Yeah.
And then we are very happy at this moment.
You said you've improved the bike, but with Samuele, what's changed? Because we're seeing him up in the top a lot more. So what's he doing differently, do you think, this year?
Yeah, the situation changed a little bit also in his mind because get a little bit more in a professional rider.
Yeah.
Because we start with Samuele since 2013, but it was not very easy to work with him, and now Samuele is a little bit more professional, work all day very hard, and then understand better all situation on the bike, and then have a possibility for learn also from our engineer and give a correct information and correct feeling also.
Right. Okay.
Well, talking about that, obviously we got to Qatar and, you know, he looked pretty good there, didn't he? He had some good races up front. And that's the first time we saw him kind of almost realizing his potential in Qatar. You know, he was up front in the beginning.
Yeah, because we start Friday, no, for the free practice, but Samuele have a little bit scared, no, because last year don't take part to this race. The track is completely new, is difficult track, but since the beginning, understand that have the speed and have a good, very good feeling with the bike, no. And then entry by entry, understand that have a possibility for stay in front. And then when start the first moto, start very good and stay 35 minutes in the 5 position, but don't have possibility for finish the race very good because start little bit late to his preparation.
Well, you know, this was then, you explained about that, but I'll tell you what, whatever he's doing differently at the moment, whatever you guys are doing differently, you mentioned the Moto3 engine, you mentioned his fitness and becoming more of a professional rider, but in Switzerland, 3 weekends ago, when he led the first race, you must have just been, well, I don't know, how were you? Were you nervous? Were you pleased? Were you proud? What was going through your mind when he pulled a foxhole shot?
Yeah, it's difficult to explain because it's many feeling and many sensation, no, in my heart also, because I know that Samuele have a possibility for start in front all the time, but all the time is a different situation, no. But in Switzerland, start very good, stay in front for, if I remember correctly, 5 or
it was a long time.
3, yeah, laps, and then. Was impressive, no? And everybody stayed there, also the boss from TM Racing, and then we stay a little bit like this, but finally finishing for position.
But he looked relaxed as well. He didn't look like he was, you know, panicking. He didn't look like he was about to make a mistake.
No, this is the best situation about Samuele.
Yeah.
Samuele don't have a scare to the race, don't have a strange feeling before the race. He joke all the time, also 10 seconds before the start, and don't think about the race.
Yeah.
But then when the gate go down, he make a click and then change completely.
Yeah. We are literally almost out of time, but I know in 2 weekends' time you've got a big thing happening in America, haven't you, with the new bike?
Yeah, yeah. We decided to present the new bike in USA because
2017 bike?
2017,
Yeah.
yes. Because since 6 months we start with the new import in the USA. This guy is so impressive because he work a little bit in the office, but so much time also on the track. And then he makes so much test with the magazine, and everybody now talk about TM.
Yeah.
And then we decide that is very important market for TM, and then we think, okay, it's time now. It's time for present our bike in USA, and then we stay with our finger crossed because it's important market. But I'm sure that is for sure is a success.
All right, Marco Ricciardi, we are out of time. But thanks for joining us. Good luck for this weekend and the next 2 Grand Prix as well. And we'll see you again soon. Marco Ricciardi, thanks for joining us.
I hope.
Yeah.
Thank you to you. Ciao to everybody.
No problem. Well, that is it. We are out of time. Thanks for joining us on MXGP TV Studio Show today. And, of course, live on Facebook, as we have been the last 3 rounds. Hope you enjoyed it. Enjoy the racing this weekend from Assen as well. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.